I know, I hate the reflection. Okay. Thank you all for being here. I'm going to call this meeting to order. Today is July 22nd. It is currently 7:03 p.m. and this is a special meeting of the Philomath City Council. So first of all, let me just start off by thanking you all for taking a little extra time out of a Tuesday evening to be with us today. I know this is not what we had all planned, but I appreciate you making it work. I also meant to say at the last meeting, just that I wanted to really express my gratitude to all of you. We've been doing this for 6 months now, almost 7 months. And I think things have been going really well. And that is in no small part thanks to all of your work and dedication and willingness to listen to each other and get along and make the community a better place. So I just really wanted to thank you because I think we all know that's not something to be taken for granted. So I look forward to many, many more months of working with you all.
I gotcha. Yeah.
So with that, can we do a roll call?
Present.
Present.
Rick Caseman. Ruth Nielsen.
Present.
Salsa.
Present.
Christopher McMurray.
Present. Okay. And then we don't have minutes or anything to approve or any sort of consent agenda. I don't think we have anyone here for public comment. Is that right? Okay. Good. Then we will go right ahead to, and I hope everyone saw Chris's email. This is the only thing that was initially on the agenda. Chris does have, maybe you still have something else you wanted to go on after this about the housing or?
Yeah.
Okay. So just a heads up, we're not quite done once we're done with this. But with that, I'll turn it over to Chris to walk us through the pickle we found ourselves in.
Yeah, thanks. So when Benton County has items on the election, they pay for it because they need to do it to get their items out there. When they don't have their own items for the election, and a city does, then they look to the city to pay for that election, which is a situation we found ourselves in with the November special election for 2025. We have penciled in to have the Psilocybin ballot title go before the voters and also the island annexations to go before the voters. But we were informed last week by Benton County that we are the only thing that will be on the ballot, which means we'll spend about $50,000 to hold the election. Alternatively, we can punt 6 months and put those on the general election in May of 2026. And the county already has items scheduled for that, and so we wouldn't be paying anything there. Consequence-wise, we'd be another 6 months with a ban on psilocybin in place without the voters having the opportunity to either sustain that vote or to repeal the ban. So that would be 6 more months of a ban without the chance of repeal. On the island annexations, it'll just be a delay of that 6 months before voters can vote on, weigh in on whether they want those annexed into the city or not. So in either case, I don't think the repercussions are huge. My personal opinion, professional opinion, I don't think it's worth $50,000 of taxpayer monies to get to a decision 6 months earlier, but it's not my decision, it's your decision. And so I need guidance from you on what we need to do. The original resolution that the council passed referred to the next general election, not the next special election. So the resolution that was passed on psilocybin correctly says general election, which is in May. If you would like to do it in November still, then we will need to bring a resolution that says we want to do it at the special election in November as opposed to the general election in May. So depending on which direction you'd like to go, we may have a little bit more quick work to do. I just need to know because we need to work to get that together and get it over to the county or not get it to the county. So primarily we're looking at psilocybin. The island annexation, there was no resolution giving direction to staff on when to do that, just to do it. So no repercussions there. We'll do it ahead or we won't. But the resolution that staff has giving direction is specific to psilocybin. So I'd like to hear a motion on either delaying that vote, postponing it until May 2026, or continuing and doing it and paying the up to $50,000 for the elections.
Councilor Andrade?
I move to direct staff to postpone the psilocybin ballot submittal until the May 2026 general election.
Second.
Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry. I mean, yeah, well, let him.
Okay. All right, it's been moved by Counselor Andrade, seconded by Counselor Salsa to direct staff to postpone the psilocybin ballot submittal until the May 2026 general election. Sorry, I got a little piece of trail mix in there. I'll just this. I had a question that I think might just be a semantics thing. Sorry, there's still a little bit. I'm not sick. I think this might just be sort of a general common understanding, maybe versus a legal understanding. I always thought the May election was like the primary election, and then the November one was the general one. But
Me too.
okay, but May is the general one.
I'm not an
according to
elections
Ashley.
officer, and I honestly couldn't tell you the distinction between the two.
Okay, okay.
Other than when they happen. But special election, general election,
Yeah, that as long as we're in the clear, that works for me.
yeah.
Okay.
In my mind, November was the general election, May was the special one, but I got those reversed
Yeah,
apparently.
okay. And you don't need any direction from us tonight on the island organizations?
No, there was never a direction, but it will just also
Okay.
be delayed. We'll
And
still
all
have
all the public meetings and all that sort of stuff, which.
same schedule. The planning commission met last night and actually approved the island annexation. It'll come to you at your August meeting. We'll have a public hearing, invite people to come, and then you'll have deliberation and decision then. It's actually kind of good because each of those has to have its own ballot title, and there's some there. So that'll give Crystal a little bit of time between then and whenever it needs to go by the end of the year to put all those together and get them over to the county. So yeah, those will just get delayed as well. They each get voted on individually. So voters could vote on, yep, we want that one in, not that one, not that one, that one, that one, yes, yes. So yeah, they vote on each of them individually.
Wow.
So they can do them as blocks, but it gets just as messy trying to figure out blocks sometimes. So
Okay.
anyway, more to come on that in your August meeting.
Any other discussion on the motion? Okay, seeing none, would all those in favor please raise your hand and say aye?
Aye.
Aye. It looks like that passes 6-0. And then, oh, look at this.
Rolling.
And then I'll turn it back over to Chris to talk about some progress on the city-owned lot on 20th and Main, which was one of our strategic plan priorities.
Yeah, and I didn't have time to type this up, but I will look for a formal motion here to give me some direction, and I'll explain. Councilor Andrade and I have been meeting with an individual that represents a nonprofit that does low-income, affordable housing. Approached the city, asked if we were interested. We talked about the lot that we had, scheduled a meeting with Councilor Andrade and myself because she had expressed interest there. I think we were at a conference together when
Hope Advisory Board meeting.
yeah, the Hope Advisory Board meeting. Thank you. And so we talked through it. So we've had 2 or 3 meetings now. At the first meeting, we just talked kind of what we're looking for. We talked about the lot quite a bit and what was there, what wasn't there, water, sewer, availability. The next meeting, he had some renderings done together on what it would look like. You know, we're looking at 1 and 2 bedrooms, 4 stories, parking first level, office, laundry, maybe workout area. It's all preliminary at this point, but that's kind of the thing they're looking, 1, 2 bedrooms, 4-story, all that, right there at 20th and Main. And looks pretty promising, looks pretty good. They've done similar projects. They just did one in Corvallis not too long ago. In fact, they would like for the city council to do a field trip prior to the August meeting and do a little tour of their facility before they come. They'd like to come and present at the August meeting and say, here's kind of the proposal and our pitch. It's just always trouble. Here's a pitch. And then, you know, with that, of course, would be, here's the city's participation, i.e. contribution, here's what we would do, and here's how it would work. Are we ready to go and start contracts and get this thing going or not, right? They do all the funding, they do the grant writing, they handle all the everything. And again, that will all be presented to the council. My question to you is, with real estate transactions, we're all kosher, we're fine. We can pick somebody, so this is who we're interested in dealing with to sell the property. we're fine as far as a real estate transaction go per our procurement rules. It's all legit, we're good. We have the option, we can open it up. We could publicize it, notice it, say, hey, over the next 2 weeks, any nonprofit group that's interested in working with the city of Philomath on a housing project, 20th and Main, that can do 30 to 40 plus units, 1 and 2 bedrooms, send us your proposals by such and such date. We could have a scoring criteria to review all of those, get a good review, and then select which one we want to go with, and then have that conversation, do the tour, et cetera, et cetera. So a little of this is being pushed by some timing, which is always the case. There's some grants that they're applying for that are time sensitive. There's some concern that too much delay may get past some of those grants and they may have to look at other communities and things. I'll say for myself, I feel really good about this nonprofit. Very, very different from the nonprofit we were working with before. These individuals know what they're doing, they know the process, they know the development, they have read through our code. They were citing our code to me when I was talking about setbacks and things. I feel very, very comfortable with them, and the fact that they've done similar projects right next door in Corvallis and other projects in our vicinity gives a lot of credibility to them. They're actually a large, like, national firm, but they have offices here locally, but it's a large investment group. And this is what they're focusing on in Oregon, is these affordable housing subsidized projects. So professionally, I have a lot of comfort level in moving forward with them. They've given us a good proposal. They've been very responsive. I recognize they have some timeframes that they'd like us to help them meet. And moving forward, scheduling a tour of their Corvallis facility as kind of a work session in August, and then having them come and present to us in August and see what we want to do. We always have the option in August to say, nah, not really what we were hoping for, and go out at that point and maybe test the waters. But I'm not really comfortable with saying, let's open it up to everybody, and while it's open to everybody, we'll have this one group that we kind of let schmooze us a little bit while the others don't have the opportunity to come and schmooze us a little bit, right? So what I'd like tonight is a motion and some direction from council to either put a proposal out there, maybe float it for a couple of weeks, see if we can get a matrix put together with some scoring, which we would do as part of the proposal, and see what we can get by like Wednesday or Thursday prior to next meeting. So what is that, the 6th or 7th or whatever it would be, which gives us about 2.5 weeks if we got something out by the end of this week. I mean, it's doable. It's tight, but it's doable. But at least then we could, I guess, check a box and say, hey, we put it out to the community. It's not really a lot of time for somebody to actually get a good proposal back into us. So it feels like a little bit going through the motions. So either the motion to go that route, which I'm also obviously poo-pooing a little bit just because I think there's some timeframe stuff that make it difficult, but if that's once we would go that route, or a motion to continue forward with the group that Councilor Andrade and I have been working with, have the walkthrough and the presentation on the 11th, and then make a decision at that time whether to proceed with this nonprofit group or to look for other nonprofits that could do something similar.
Councilor Caseman?
Do you know what the street address is, the one in Corvallis?
It's the 53rd flats, he said.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. Oh, okay.
Yeah. And house number.
Yeah.
But perhaps we will all go see it very soon.
Yeah, I would just like to hear something.
Oh, yeah, no, I thought that he sounded great and was very responsive to emails, was even, like preemptively asking questions of like, oh, hey, this thing's gonna come up, this thing's gonna come up, like what are your policies on this? And as opposed to the previous group that presented, I felt like he genuinely listened to me and answered questions, and I felt like very, I don't know, like he would take into consideration like what the council wants, and try to fit that with whatever they can do based on money and like financial stuff. But I'll just say, like, with the first group, I had asked about like ADA and, you know, environmentally friendly ways of building and stuff like that. And it was kind of like, oh, well, we don't really know, and like we've never done this before, but Commonwealth, I believe the name. They and this person from Commonwealth is very much like, oh yeah, no, like we've done this multiple times, and we're happy to talk about these things with you, and very
Gonna have an
Good
elevator,
answers.
gonna
Yeah,
have
elevator.
ADA, like a certain number will be built to ADA
Mhm.
specifications going, I mean, again, we've done this before.
Yes.
This is our standard product. This is what we do. That
yeah.
was my sentiment as well.
Agreed. And then I'd have to go back to look at the email, but it sounded like there was we were talking about the one-to-one parking versus less, the like 0.7 to, or whatever, 0.7 to 1 parking spots to, and so it sounds like there might be some wiggle room that we could potentially give input on, so
But number of units versus number of parking spaces.
thank you.
You know, they've got to get a certain number of units to make it pencil out,
Yes.
but they also really like the one-to-one ratio of one parking spot for every unit that there is.
Mhm.
But if that doesn't pencil, then they might have to drop down. Our current code for multifamily is 7 parking spaces for every 10, so it's 70%. So because you're going to assume in a smaller apartment complex, you're going to have more people, or in an apartment complex with smaller units, you may have some people that choose not to have a vehicle, they're for whatever reason. So the parking is less, but the new state statute is there is no parking requirement at all, as long as you're within a half a mile of a transit stop, which we are. And so there's no parking requirements that we as the city can put on the developer, but the developer standard is we really try to get the one-to-one ratio. In this case, it may be a few short of that. Again, there's some details to still iron out, but the intent is we're not proposing a 4-story apartment complex with no parking. We're gonna get as much parking in there as we can, but it may not be 40 spots for 40 spaces. And he'll have more detail on that when he presents in August, if that's what we want to do. Again, I'm just in a fast forward, like now, like get this done really, really quick, or we've got some time to get a presentation put together, have him get something for August, and then see where we're at from there if we don't like what he's presenting.
And so on that note, if I may, normally I would be in favor of opening it up and, you know, trying to give ample opportunity to other groups. But I think this is a special situation where, like, this is something that we have prioritized as a council for a long time. We've been wanting to do this and just haven't been able to move forward. And this group has answers and they have history that they can point to say, like, yes, we can do this. And I think it would be a great opportunity to just move forward with doing a walkthrough and making a decision then about whether to open it up to other groups. Because I also don't want to go through the motions and waste valuable staff time and energy to do something that we're only doing just to, you know, make it look like we're doing something in a particular way. I don't know.
Yeah. I would echo those sentiments. I guess my first instinct was the same, that we should open it up, but then, you know, we were talking about or IDRA or whatever the other group was. IDRA. And I mean, you know, they were welcome to come and present their pitch without us opening something up ahead of time. Like, I think we have plenty of invited presentations and everything. I think I'm comfortable with doing the walkthrough, having them come make their pitch. We're not committing right now to making a decision on the real estate, but I think I would hate to see something get delayed or miss out on an opportunity just to go through motions that probably won't yield too much. So I would prefer to move forward with this plan, and then after or at our August meeting, would it be the second meeting of August? Was that the one you?
No, it would be the
first. Okay. Then at the August meeting, we can talk about the final real estate transaction details, but that would be my thought. Counselor Nielsen.
not that I disagree with what has been, the valid points that have been made, but in thinking, if post-presentation in August, we're still feeling uneasy, that just delays us going out to other organizations, opening it up to other organizations that many more weeks, from that point on. Whereas having that opportunity for other nonprofits to, from the impetus, begin their proposals, even if it's not a complete proposal, just gathering interest and having opportunity provided to other nonprofits. We don't have a lot of properties that are going to be having this opportunity within the city of Philomath thus far. So this is kind of the beginning of something that could be really wonderful and powerful and life-changing for a lot of individuals. I just want to make sure that we do the optimum for our city in regards to having a low-income housing. And so I do in my heart think maybe there's a possibility that opening it up could maybe in vain, and maybe there will be no one that will be interested, but having those weeks not be wasted as we wait to hear from this particular nonprofit, maybe would have value in putting something out there to be an option for others to voice their interest. Just another thought. But I do love what I hear and appreciate what we've heard about this organization. And I don't mean to say that I don't.
No. Councilor Caseman?
Has this group said if they don't get these grants that are coming up soon, that they can't do the project? Is it contingent on being awarded these grants, or?
I mean, I wouldn't say that, and I don't want to overemphasize that too much. I mean, we're getting requests now, like Public Works just got a letter, like, where's the water, where's the sewer, would these be available, are there floodplain, so they're getting letters of interest that they're filling out that are being submitted with their grant applications, right? So they're to the point where they're starting to submit documentation about this site for the grants that they're applying for. I honestly am not privy to those timeframes and the dates and everything else, and the fact that they're looking at Public Works and looking to the city for, land use compatibility studies, the zoning appropriate, whatever. So they're actively collecting data on this site for the grants. The grants are tied to this site, not just, just apply for a grant and you get it, and then you pick the site you want. It's specific to the site. So that's my concern, is entering into it as a good partner and being cooperative and saying, yeah, let's run this through and see where it can get us to. And I will just say, 2 points. I'll be careful on the second. But on the first one,
Oh, here we go.
first one, I won't be so careful. I think having gone through this experience before with another nonprofit, I think we've kind of learned the questions to ask and what to look for, and to be able to spot a strong partner in this process as opposed to maybe a weaker partner that we were given a shot for. And that's where I was, I had Councilor Andrade. I invited her to come. We were at the Hope Executive Committee meeting, and I had this meeting scheduled and invited her to tag along because I didn't mean tag along, I invited her to come and be there because I wanted that council input. I want to make sure that from the get-go, somebody from the council was actively hearing the questions they were asking and involved. So I really appreciate her involvement to this point. And so that's been helpful. But I have been impressed, I guess, from day one. And I think maybe we can do better, but I don't think we can. I don't know, right? I mean, I think that we've got a really, really good nonprofit that we would be working with as a good partner. And what I'd be looking for in August is, like, financially, does it make sense for the city? But short of that, I have no ifs, ands, or qualms that they'd be able to fulfill the project and get it done, which was my concern all along with the first one. So that's the first one. The second one is getting the RFP out like this week would be a substantial lift for the city, for staff. I'm already a little bit underwater. I don't have people I can say, hey, get that RP ready. It'll be my time, and it's probably going to take 6 to 12 hours to pull that together and get it out by the end of the week, which I will do. But there is some staff time that's going to be involved in doing this. I don't have something on the shelf I can just zip out there within the next couple of hours. It'll be a little bit of a lift for me to pull something together, which again, we can do. My hesitancy is I do feel like it's really a short time frame to get anything substantial back in there. And I'm not as concerned about the 4 weeks, 3 weeks we would lose between now and an August meeting. If in August we don't care like what we're hearing for, I'll spend a couple of days, we'll get the RFP out and we'll give people a month, month and a half to get it, and then we'll get great proposals and we'll select and we'll move forward. So I'm not as concerned about losing the 3 weeks as I am about rushing a proposal within 2 weeks, right? So I hear what you're saying. I guess I would encourage the council to, let's hear them out, let's do the field trip. And worst case scenario, we've learned a little bit more about what it could look like, and we've got exposed to another potential nonprofit, and we open it up and allow them to submit their proposal along with others. And I don't think that really puts us behind other than maybe 2 or 3 weeks. So.
Any further discussion on this? Councilor Nancy?
And are they willing to disclose further information about the 53rd Flats location as far as how that's running and the occupancy and the costs of occupancy and all that? Are they willing to give us particular information? Because I would be interested in knowing how that's going.
Yeah, it's a guided tour, so they will be answering questions, provide information. So yeah, when I spoke to him about having the council there, we'll notice it as a work session off-site. We'll go and he'll help guide us through and answer those questions and talk about, I don't know how overly specific on the finances, although they're open book, right? I mean, they have to be with all their grants. So I think you'll get a good idea of, building quality, functionality, it's a good sample, but absolutely. Then we'll come back here and he'll present and we'll be able to kind of liken and kind of compare and contrast those numbers. So I think by the end of the meeting in August, you'll have a good understanding. And I do just want to add, the August meeting will be a little lengthy. We've got that presentation. We also have the island annexation public hearing. The planning commission took right at 2 hours, just over 2 hours. We had 4 people come testify. So that may be a little bit of a longer meeting in August, but it'll be worth it. It'll be good. We'll do food. We'll make it worth it.
Okay, is there a motion on this topic? Councilor Andrade?
I move that we move forward with the field trip and, I'm sorry, what motion do
So
you
motion
suggest?
forward with Commonwealth
Yes,
through the council meeting on the 11th of August.
that's the motion I make.
Okay.
Moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Councilor Andrade, seconded by Councilor Salsa to move forward with the collaboration with Commonwealth through the August 11th City Council meeting.
One more thing.
Yes, please, Councilor Nancy.
When that date for the field trip comes up, could we have the calendar is extremely full during the month of August. Could we have a couple of dates as options rather than saying this date at this time? It's difficult to reschedule things. And when were we thinking?
Well, I can ask him again, but they're letting their residents know, there's people living in them, so they have to notify their residents 24 hours ahead of time that there's gonna be people there looking around and all that. So I talked about, would it be better to have an open time throughout the day when people could go? He's like, no, we really need to have people there meet, because that's when we're gonna notice people that there will be there and we can actually walk through the areas. So I could talk to about a second date if you just have a conflict on the 11th.
How about, is that the date you're thinking about, is August 11th?
Monday the 11th,
During
yeah.
the work session.
Yeah, like 5:30.
If it's a conflict, then we can find a second date maybe prior to that.
Sorry,
No, no,
I've got so many things going on.
how many grandkids do you have
Day of service and
now? Yeah.
Every day of the month.
it's true. So 5:30 is what you're saying? Okay,
Yeah.
I think we can make it work.
Okay. Okay, any further discussion on the motion that we have on the table here? Okay, seeing no further discussion, then would all those in favor please raise your hand and say aye?
Aye.
Aye. And that looks like that passes 6-0. Thank you so much. Any final words or announcements or anything from councilors before we adjourn?
Next Tuesday, if you didn't get the flyer yet, you will soon, a week from tonight, almost right now, a little early. Next Tuesday at 5:30, we're gonna have a celebration ceremony for the reopening of Triangle Park. We've got a new swing set, we got some new fall equipment, has been repainted. So a really nice little pocket park if you haven't been there yet.
That's
Up
nice.
North 9th Street, just past the road trucks, take a right. We're gonna have some otter pops and some prizes, we're gonna do some games. We're trying to get the police chief up there with his lights going. Let's look at the police vehicles. We're not gonna do a ceremony, it's just gonna be a party. So it'll just be show up, maybe we're gonna have a basketball there and have people doing free throws to win prizes, and we'll, we're doing face painting as well. We've got some face paints
God, what?
going, so we're going all out.
We better
Crystal
get people
committed,
to
she's
show up
helping
for
me.
this.
Crystal and I are gonna be doing some little artwork. So anyway, that's next Tuesday, 5:30
Yeah.
to 6:30. Notice will go out soon. We'll start getting out. Crystal was working on the little flyer today even, and so we'll get that out. We got to celebrate the wins. It's great for that little neighborhood to get a facelift on that park. So we're gonna get together and have a little party. You're all invited. Please come. And when you're there, don't talk city.
Yeah. Councilor Andrade?
All at the museum at 3:30. Thank you.
Yes. I will be there or be square. Or not, that's fine.
Triangle, square.
Yeah, oh, wait a minute, wait a minute. Okay, I brought it full circle. You don't have to.
Yeah, I've just been so full with, we do have an event coming up September 13th. It's a countywide event, a day of service in memorial of 9/11. It's a time to promote volunteerism. It's going to be held at Benton County Fairgrounds on 53rd. It's an event that goes from 9 to 1. It's totally free. We have a live band coming, free lunch, free crafts and activities. There'll be service projects there for individuals in the community to participate in. And there'll just be a lot of information from nonprofits for community resources for those who are coming to find out more how they can benefit from it or how they can contribute and become a part of those various nonprofits. It is a phenomenal event. We're just excited about. We have right now, I believe, we're at about 30 nonprofits coming. So it's going to be a huge representation of what's available for our community members and a chance for us to promote volunteerism and service. Nothing makes us feel better than helping someone else. And there's great joy and found in doing something for someone else. And that this Saturday is all about reaching out and helping another person, people we maybe don't even know. And it's a great thing. So we're working really hard on that. That's September 13th, which is a Saturday, 9 to 1 at the Benton County Fairgrounds. And come eat a nice barbecue lunch and be a part of the wonder of service.
And you don't need an RSVP, it's just.
We don't, unless you want to have, unless you know of a nonprofit that wants to be represented, we don't need to, we've got it all planned, and either that, we're gonna have a lot of lunch left over, a lot of leftovers, I don't know, but.
Thank you for the information.
Yeah, you're welcome, it's gonna be a great event, we're excited. Sure. Thank you for that.
Okay, any final thoughts? Brad, you got anything?
Special elections are in odd number of years, general elections are in even.
Thank you.
I'm glad you're here.
A wealth of all knowledge. There you
Yes.
go.
Okay, well, with that, we will adjourn and see you all for our big field trip on August 11th. Oh, no, we'll see you next Monday first, and then we'll see you for the field trip.
Go part things.
Yes, yeah,
More
yeah.
things.
We'll see you next week, and we're, whatever time, 7:36.
Let's say the planning commission is